Hi, this is Stag again, and today I want to demonstrate a really strange CPU. So we're going to need LN2 for this, so I got something set up here. Now let's turn this on. You got the voltages and temps over there. Let's go into BIOS. Actually, don't go into BIOS. Let's take this off quickly. Now, this is the system. P4 C800-E Deluxe. Just A. Actually, we're missing what I wanted to show you, so let's go into BIOS, then let's go exit save changes, spam tab, and you should see what CPU we're running. There you go, Pentium 4, 2.4 GHz. So let's let this boot. It's pretty warm for ambient, so 1.76 volts. Because that's the lowest the board will go because of the load mod, so let's put some on in here. Just to keep the temps somewhat low. Okay, there we are. Booted up. Let's open CPU-Z. And as you can see, we have a Pentium 4 on focus. 2.4 GHz here. So let's put you back on the tripod and cool down this thing. And let's see what happens. Now before this, basically I was benching this, and once I was at full pot, the CPU was identified as a Celeron. So let's see what happens this time. Maybe it does the same thing again. Or maybe it was just weirdness, in which case I can finally produce a valid that actually says Pentium 4. So I'm just sitting in Windows over there, you can see. So you can put the CPU-Z Windows here. It's not gonna see that, way too far back. But you can see temperature dropping, we're already at negatives. Might actually want to put a fan on the north bridge for this. Let me quickly grab the fan. Plug it in. There we go. System still alive, didn't crash. Now we're just going to wait. I'm going to occasionally restart CPU-Z and see if it changes. Still a Pentium 4. I'm kind of curious if it changes in OS or if it needs a restart to change the CPU identifier, or if it doesn't do it at all, obviously. CPU-C still says Pentium 4. I mean, we're only at -30, so it's not surprising. I ran the CPU on cascade, so about -90, and it didn't change one bit. So I suspect if we see it again, then it's going to happen below -100. So we got quite a ways to go. Just checking occasionally if the system's still alive. Still a Pentium 4. Now we're at about single stage temperature, so -50s. Again, shouldn't be critical. Last time I tested it, basically was independent of voltage or clock. So right now we're actually running at stock clocks on the CPU. Now, if I can't reproduce the thing again, then I'm obviously going to overclock the CPU and see if that causes it to fail. Well, not fail, it ran just fine, but going to turn into a Celeron. And by turn into a Celeron, I don't mean 3/4 of the cache just sort of disappearing on you. I just mean CPU-Z reading it as a Celeron with 512 kilobytes of cache. Still a Pentium 4, obviously. We're only at -70, so I again suspect it to happen somewhere between -100 and full pot. So full pot on this thermometer, well, this probe anyways is going to be like -160 because it's garbage probe. So don't let that distract you. But you will hear it going to full pot, so still a Pentium 4, obviously. Also, it might crash, though before I didn't have issues if I ran it at full stock settings at full pot, so it should be fine. Okay, now we're at -90, so this was the coldest I have yet seen it be a Pentium 4. So let's see, still a Pentium 4. And the first thermos of LN2. Still a Pentium 4. I feel kind of silly just launching CPU-Z over and over and expecting a different outcome, but this was just that kind of issue where it feels like it's impossible, so let's see if we can get it to work. Well, fail, I guess. Pentium 4. So -115, it's still a Pentium 4. Again, it might happen after reboot only. Who knows? Pentium 4. -120 is still a Pentium 4. And still a Pentium 4 at -125. I feel like this is a huge waste of LN2. But it's really interesting. So we got -130 and now it's going to go really quick. Still a Pentium 4. 135. Still a Pentium 4. -140. Again, it seems like we are close to full pot anyways. Okay, this is pretty close to full pot now. Still a Pentium 4. Okay, this is full pot. -166. Crabby probe. Still a Pentium 4. So time to reboot this. Take you off the stand here. It's posting. So let's focus on the screen. It's still a Pentium 4. Okay, let's overclock it and see what happens. Let me actually put you on the tripod for overclocking, because that is going to suck. Well, I would add cuts to this, but this is kind of a proof video, so this is going to be one take. There we are. Jumper free, manual. Got to hold down this button a while. Let's go for something like 270 FSB. 320 here, V-core to 1.6 volts in BIOS, should be fine. DDR as high as it will go, this to 1.7. I'm leaving that on auto for now. Onboard devices disabled obviously. Chipset C225 because we are running WinBond. Okay, so let's see if this posts. Actually, let's disable full screen logo so we see right away. So let's see what it shows up as. Ah, yes, there we are. Now it's a genuine engineering sample. Very nice. Now it should be a Celeron once we boot it. Also it boots way quicker now obviously because we're running proper memory and like 4.8 GHz. Okay, CPU Z. It is a Celeron now. Ta-da! Fucking magic. And it shuts down. Obviously it does this because this CPU has a cold bug and no cold boot bug. So we can just turn on the system again and it will boot again, and if I don't open my benchmark in time, it's going to crash. Fun! Obviously I can fix this with more volts, let me show you. But that doesn't fix the Celeron issue. So there we are. 4.6, just refill some LN2. That is even completely cold post, so you can reset BIOS and everything, but just won't stay in Windows. So jump off, no, not this way. So this is, let me show you. This is now 1.94 volts, and now it should stay in Windows and just sit on the desktop happily. And obviously it's going to eat all my LN2, but I'm going to do one quick fast run, just for the hell of it, I guess. Hoping it's PyFast stable. I have no idea how good these WinBonds are. So let's go into CPU-Z. Now it should still be a Celeron, obviously, and yes, that should be easy. So open PyFast. I only set up 3 liters of LN2 for this little test, so I'm not gonna bench for long here. I just find it really ridiculous that the CPU changes like its name if you overclock it too much, because that should never happen with anything. And it's not like modern CPU-Z only. I'm not sure if I have CPU-Z old one on here, but I tested it before and it does that in every CPU-Z version. So let's see, this should be something like, I don't know, 43 seconds or something. In 44. F is garbage, but what do you expect? I didn't do any memset, and 216C2 isn't really all that fast. Also no VASA or anything, but VASA doesn't usually help much with PyFast anyway, so let's just close these and close that. I can't remember sub timings for this shit. I think this went all the way down to 2, but it might crash if I apply it. So. Oh, let's try. Yeah, it crashed. Okay, so let's reboot this. I've still got a little left, so let's try to get like 43 seconds or something. On our newly acquired Celeron 3 GHz. Also, just so you can see it, the CPU still has 512 KB of cache. So our cache is working fine. I have no idea why it does that, to be honest, like the whole Celeron thing. Zoom this out just enough. And what did we say? Yeah, right, PyFast, memset. Okay, does this go down to 4? Yes. This is tight already, this goes down to 2, I think. I'm running out of LN2. Nice full. This goes down to 4 probably.
Idle timer usually 0, T is fine. Okay. Now let's launch our PyFast. Where is it? Here.
And see if it improved. Now this is far from the first place for the CPU, which is mostly because the first place currently is on a DDR2 board. Well, a socket adapter and a 775 board basically. So obviously we don't really have a chance here, but... Oh, it shut down it actually. Nice. Oh, let's see. No, not sure why it did that. It didn't do before. Hey, we got a 0-0. We might have actually managed to either kill the CPU or cold bug it. Ah no, it posts. Obviously it does. There we go. Our genuine engineering sample. Looking good. Maybe I'm going to try some other bench. I think I've half a liter left, and I don't think I'm going to optimize anything on here. This system is crazy unreliable. I think it's just the CPU or something with it, because it's behaving really weird.
Also, VDROP seems to be all over the place. I have mod for that. Why is it not behaving? Let's do this in a bench. Like no real time, no nothing. Just see if it is even stable.
Okay, yeah, I need to adjust VDROP mode for this. What is this? We are running 1.8 volts on the load.
It's ridiculous.
From 1.94. I hope my VRM isn't dying on me.
I have no idea how good this is.
And it goes. Yeah, I think our VRM is failing on us, to be honest. Look at this. Maybe that's the cold bug issue. Just all over the place. Turn this off. Oh, this is melted almost again. This is really a problem with these. 4-pin is by far not enough for LN2 on these boards. I feel like I actually need to e-power the Asus boards as well. And now we have the proper voltage again. We got our 0 MHz engineering sample. Okay, it reset everything. And I got like half a liter of LN2 in here, so... Yeah, I think that's about it. But you're seeing a very interesting CPU that changes its identity based on, I guess, temperature. Because, as you will see now, below the defaults... Actually, let's load defaults by turning on the power supply completely. Power supply is off. And let's, for good measure, find the visor reset jump on this thing. There we go. Okay, so I cleared CMOS as well. Let's see what it comes up as. If it's anything like the previous run, it's going to be a Intel engineering sample, and once we're in OS, obviously a Celeron. Yes, there is the engineering sample, and let's just boot to make sure. I'm just putting more NL2 in here. Yes, there it is, still a Celeron. Okay, so I think that's about it. I'm running out of LN2 and I've proven my point. So I think this should be a nice insight into the world of LN2 overclocking and the like weird ass bugs you encounter when taking stuff to the extreme in general. Now this one is a new one for me, but maybe you've seen it before, but I haven't seen one on HWBot before, so I think that's just strange CPU, to be honest. So yeah, that's about it. Bye.